My name is Brooke. I'm the training manager at Incorporate Massage, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about working weight of your massage equipment, specifically your chair. So the working weight of the chair is something that you need to pay attention to so that you can maintain the longevity and the quality of your chair to avoid having to purchase a new one in the future, near future, or avoid any potential hazardous accidents along the way. Because our chairs get a lot of wear and tear, right? So investing in a really good chair is really important. And there's a few things that you got to consider when you're looking for a chair. And most of you already, all of you already have chairs, right? But does anybody know the working weight of your chair? Anybody?
I think mine's like 300 pounds.
300 pounds is pretty typical. But if you don't know, you need to find out, okay? So there's a few different words that I'm going to discuss today. One's working weight, one's static weight, and then there's drop weight. So there's all different types of weight. Does anybody know the difference between static weight and working weight? Okay, so static weight is like it's static, not moving, right? It stays the same. So basically I weigh this much when I'm just standing still versus I weigh this much when I'm moving around, okay? So every chair has a static weight and a working weight, and in chairs, the static weight is double what your working weight is. So the good news is that you will never have to refuse service to anybody, because if your working weight is say 250 and that's the low end, your static weight means you can work on somebody who's at least 500 pounds, okay? So that's awesome. So there's no need to refuse service for anybody who might be that big, okay? Because there's no good way to do it. I was racking my brains thinking of what's a really nice way of saying you can't sit in my chair, and there just isn't one. So you don't have to do that at all. So it's just the concept that when you're working on someone, they weigh more while they're moving versus when they're just sitting still. So if you have somebody who seems as if they might exceed the working weight of your chair, so if your chair is less than 300 pounds, that can present a little bit more of a problem than if your chair is over 300 pounds. So getting to know your chair is really important, and I do have a graph if you guys have any questions. Rachel was nice enough to put this together for me, so let me know if you just have the brand of your chair. I can tell you what your working weight is. Okay, so when you have a client in your chair, one thing that you really need to do is instruct them how to get in the chair. So sometimes people ask the question, like, have you ever had a chair massage before? And then that leads you into maybe you need to give them instruction. I say always give them instruction. It doesn't matter. Don't even ask that question. Just say, okay, so to sit in the chair, keywords to say and enunciate are slowly and carefully, because somebody sitting in the chair like this is going to weigh a lot less than the same size person going, right? So that just means that I weigh more because I was applying more movement versus if I was being really slow. Also, if somebody sits on your chair, putting all their weight on one joint and then moving over like this is also a very unsafe way to get in someone's chair, and that being done over and over and over, especially by people who are really excited to get into your chair and get their massage, is going to wear down your chair really fast and cause the joints to break. And by joints, I mean hinges and certain parts. Okay, so when you're instructing somebody to get in your chair, I keep all of the little hinges unlocked and down, and you will do whatever is best according to your chair. And let's see if I can find them all. Okay, so everything is unlocked and in its lowest position. So the lower to the ground, the closer to the base it is, the more weight it can take. So I stand in front of my chair like this, kind of shielding it, like, don't sit in it yet, I'm not done talking to you. So while I'm doing my verbal intake, I'll ask them where their injuries are, where they want me to focus, and I'll say, okay, so when you sit down, just sit down really slow and careful. Use two hands on the chest piece, and my chest piece is down here. It's not up in this more compromised position, right? So your chest piece is down here. Use two hands, straddle the seat, and then just carefully, slowly sit down, and then place your knees one at a time on the knee pads. So emphasizing the slow and the careful and demonstrating for them will be the best thing. And then I have them lift the chest piece, place it where they want it, and then I lock it into place, and then same with the base rest, okay? They'll hold it in place, I'll lock it where they want it to be. And that will ensure your chair is safe upon entry. And now when the person is in the chair, like I said, they weigh the least amount when they're sitting still. So the type of massage that you want to do if the client might be exceeding the chair's working weight capacity is slow, don't move your client around, and don't apply a lot of pressure. If your client is to the size where you think that they might be exceeding the working weight, a really good thing to do, if your chair allows, is remove the knee pads. Like, don't even ask. Just, you're setting up your chair for them, just remove them, set them to the side, and then tell them to sit down. No questions asked, right? It's gonna be more comfortable for them anyway. But if it doesn't allow, then you will instruct them. It might be a comfortable option to place your feet flat on the floor. So if their feet are flat on the floor, they're also taking a lot of that weight off of the base, okay? So that helps. And then when you're working on them, you can also instruct them to press their feet into the floor, again, lifting their weight up off your chair if they need more pressure. So I would say something like, if at any point you need more pressure, just press your feet into the floor, and that will put some pressure into my touch. And they can just use that pressure to get whatever type of pressure they want. And you don't have to apply any. So you're also working less, and you're not applying extra weight to your chair, okay? And that's basically it. Just don't move them around. So, you know, when you've got your client and you're doing compressions up and down the spine, just don't do that where you can see your client bouncing. Do it nice and slow, maybe more strokes than compressions, more petrissage, maybe friction, but just lay off the pressure and just say, you know, this person doesn't need any pressure, and if they do, they'll apply it themselves, and it won't be applied to my chair. So that is the basic working weight technique to maintain, to keep your chair in good working condition. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay.